Ladies and gentlemen, holy Toledo, Palantir Technologies absolutely soaring after the earnings call in the extended hour session here, over $100 per share, popping up over 20%. Absolutely ignoring the uncertainty with tariffs that we saw in the pre-market, the overnight hours, and last night's session that we talked about yesterday. Palantir brushes that off like it's no big deal, popping up, improving its guidance too for 2025. We have a lot of very, very important details to go through. A lot of the people making fun of the $100 thumbnails that we've talked about and seen in Palantir, it's here. Never thought we'd see the day so soon that Palantir breaks over $100 per share, an incredible milestone. If you are a new or a returning viewer, hit that like button, subscribe for daily videos, and of course, not a financial advisor, collecting all the data and dispatching it to you. Now pop it up on the screen here. Palantir Technologies, like you can see in the overnight hours here, $101.63 in the over extended hours right here, right at market close, closed at about $83. Specifically at 83.74 is where it closed. And then we have the earnings call. Palantir pops up to even 104 right here for a record high and is right now sitting right above $100. Let's get into the details here. Now, CNBC comes out with this article talking about Palantir rocketing over 22% after the company posts strong earnings and an outlook. The combination here, I think, were some of the big starts to the fuel that have really pushed Palantir to these new record highs in this fourth quarter earnings report. Now, looking at the basic numbers, earnings per share came in at 14 cents adjusted versus the 11 cents that was expected, correlated with the revenue here of $828 million versus $776 million expected. So about $50 million more, coming in with a very, very strong report just for the fourth quarter. Along with that beat, Palantir offered better than expected guidance and said that they expect their revenue to be between $858 million and $862 million for the next quarter, ahead of the estimate of $799 million. And for the full year, also improving their guidance, Palantir's forecast here is sales of $3.74 to $3.76 billion, topping the estimate of $3.52 billion. So Palantir coming here absolutely dominating, showing you that they are a leader in the software and technology services, especially with AI regarding the defense agencies. In a specific quote talking about their business results continue to astound, demonstrating their deepening positioning at the center of the AI revolution. Carp said in this earnings release here said that their early insights surrounding the commoditization of large language models have evolved from the theory of fact. And also, an interesting quote here is saying that this business that they've developed is now its own internal momentum and strength, and that its interior life in forms of untamed organic growth. The output that they're seeing so far surpassing what they are investing, saying that Palantir is a software juggernaut that has indeed emerged. So revenue up. Looking at the percentages here, increased 36% in the quarter. For the full year, we're seeing sales increasing 29%, and that U.S. commercial revenue growing up over 64% from a year ago to $214 million, and governmental revenues rising over 45% year over year to $343 million. They expect U.S. commercial sales to grow at least 54% to about $1.08 billion in 2025, and claiming that they are still in the earliest stages, the beginning of the first act in a revolution that they will see play out over the years and the decades. These are very positive, exceeding expectation numbers, both in terms of the quarter, the full year guidance, and what we're seeing on the commercial and the governmental side of things. Of course, with Palantir, with its combination of joining the large funds of the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, we've seen Palantir that has been a leading competitor on the top of the boom for the generative AI industry that we see coming into the society. Every business is trying to get a piece of AI, and Palantir is right there to offer that utility. He even comes in to Alex Karp comes in today responding to recent worries surrounding the actual use of China's DeepSeek. If you don't remember, China's DeepSeek caused a lot of fear last Monday in the market as a cheaper alternative to these large language models. But Palantir actually advises clients against using DeepSeek's AI tech and forecasting this upbeat revenue. He claims that basically this data analytics company and looking at DeepSeek were doubts raising that they said that they strongly discourage using DeepSeek and don't think any customer in the US government will be able to use it. And it makes sense. This is a Chinese-ran large language model, which learns off of copious amounts of data. I don't think that a lot of government intel is going to be feeding a Chinese large language AI model lots of data. That does not sound like the best idea, especially since right now we are in an AI arms race globally, trying to be the leader for the development of AI. And right now, you even have U.S. officials that are looking at the national security implications of the app DeepSeek. Are they going to be working to try to ban it in America? We'll see what happens. But nonetheless, a huge success, a large, more than a pat on the back to Palantir, doing very well. It's crazy to see here how far since we've been following Palantir since 2023 that it's came. We've been following it since 15s, and pretty impressive to see it now over $100. What do you guys make of that? Do you think Palantir will be able to hold $100 here in the market open, or do you think we're going to see a little bit of a pullback? This is a crazy large jump, up over 20, basically 23% in the afternoon hours. Now, looking at the general market today, we're actually seeing futures that are rebounding here after we saw a big dip in the market. Trump is pausing Canada tariffs. Now, how long he's pausing it for is 30 days, I believe. Stocks rose right here after he paused the planned tariffs on goods from Canada just hours after we're seeing this announcement on expected levies against Mexico. Now, the Canadian Prime Minister announced in a post on X right here that Trump agreed to halt the implementation of tariffs across Canada for at least 30 days. This move is really bringing bullish sentiment back into the market, but be careful out there because there is a lot of uncertainty, as you can see with the tariffs that were implemented on Saturday. A lot of uncertainty with what's going to be happening with tariffs and how that's going to be affecting the economy. Ultimately, we are still in a bull market. I would believe that. That is fueled by strong U.S. confidence, consumer, and rising corporate profitability. And we also have a ton of earnings that will be released here in the next few weeks. Until something cracks, this right here, narrative, this guy, whoever says it, says that they believe that the dips are buyable. And I would agree with that. Any big dips that we're seeing in the market are immediately being bought back up. We're seeing a lot of bullishness and momentum continuing in the market, regardless of the uncertainty with tariffs. Investors, however, should prepare for more market volatility and trade uncertainty. And that's just because we don't know what the long-term implications of the tariffs will cause. We even seen Trump that has came out and said that they probably going to cause some increases in prices in the near term. And the fear over here is that we're going to see prices for groceries, electronics, all kinds of other bills for these U.S. households adding upward pressure on the inflation rate. That is the big piece of uncertainty. I think that likely could happen if the tariffs, if they continue to be implemented, if we continue to see them going across the board for Canada in 30 days, readdressing this problem. We'll get back to the books on what's going to be happening with this. Yes, I think we're going to see in the short term here. But however, Trump is saying that this is going to cause a long-term win. We don't know what's going to happen. I don't know specifically. Only time will tell. Nonetheless, looking at some of the other stocks here, NVIDIA, we actually see is continuing to fall a little bit, but pulling back slightly in the after hours. NVIDIA is experiencing a little more tension, and the reason why I'm talking about it is because it has such a strong weight on the broader market right now, but experiencing some tensions and uncertainties on what the export regulations are going to be for chips going to China, since we are at an AI race against them. So the market's right here, you can see, broader market down about 1.2%. For the NASDAQ, down about 0.76%. Like I said, Palantir absolutely ignoring any fears that we see in the market. We'll see what happens in terms of its trading. talk about valuation, it's at a very high valuation. I'm kind of at a loss for words there. What do you make of all this? Peace out. Take care. Congrats to all the Palantir holders and the bullish investors out there. Take care.